Hey, what's up, guys?
Glad you came, Salzl.
Yeah, I was
Got some good people here.
cutting it close. No, I just had to kick someone out of here.
I just passed Salzl in the hallway and he's like, I'm just gonna go head to the shop real quick. So
No.
thankfully he was joking, but
Yeah.
welcome everyone. Thanks for being with us today. It's a good Friday. Literally, it's Good Friday, and hopefully it is a good day for all of us. I want to introduce our VP of Sales, Matt Salzl. He's a master of many things, including selling SEO. He's sold more SEO than anybody here at Boostability, including the record 69-day streak. So if you want to learn a little bit about selling SEO and how to do it, here's the guy. 3 months straight, every business there sell, and that's our record. So welcome, Salzl. We're excited for you to teach us today a little bit about prospecting new leads, how to find them so that our good partners here can grow their business further by selling SEO to their customers.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for the intro. Like Aaron said, my name is Matt Salzl. I'm our VP of Sales over here at Boostability. Been with the company for, almost 10 years, over 10 years now at this point. And like I said, I've personally closed over thousands of SEO clients, although I have not actively been on the front lines selling day in and day out for a number of years now. But in my time, I've closed thousands of SEO deals, worked with thousands of business owners, leading to millions of dollars in ARR. So, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about getting leads and prospecting those leads specifically. This is part of a broader uh, webinar series that we're starting, where we'll be covering everything from getting your agency started, adding new products and services, even helping define like your ICP or your ideal client profile, and really every aspect of the sales process. Let me move this window over here so I can actually see what's going on without having to look over there. All right. So anyway, Aaron, anything else you want to touch on before I jump into it?
Let's go for it, man. Nice t-shirt. Let's rock it. We do
All
want to
right.
be wary of everyone's time. If you have any questions, drop them in. And we plan to be wrapped up by 11:30.
Yeah, so this will be a little shorter one than we planned for the future. But if you have questions as we go through, feel free to put them in the chat. Aaron, you'll just stop me if there's any questions as we go, and that'll be great. So at Boostability, we work with thousands of partners over the years, and what we found is they really fall into a few buckets, especially some buckets once they start to, because this is when it gets brought up, is once they start their revenue, their sales will kind of start to stagnate, and they're having a more difficult time growing. We really found that there's three buckets that they fall into. So hopefully, or I'd imagine you fall into one of these three buckets. Bucket one is just getting started. They have no clients, no other services, wanting to get their agency up and running. They have some knowledge around digital marketing in general, but they don't have any clients yet. But what they also don't know is they don't know how to find people to sell to. They know the service, they know how to do it, but they have partners like Boostability who will fulfill on the SEO for them. They just don't know how to find people to actually sell it to. Bucket two is have clients to sell, uh, usually a small, medium-sized client base. They sell SEO into as an add-on service that they've added after partnering with us, or as their go-to service from the beginning. And then they reach this point where they just don't know how to get more customers, and then immediately start thinking, well, I must have sold every company in history that will ever need SEO. So it's time to go offer a new service, start a new business, start a new venture, whatever it is, but end up just feeling like there's no one else that they could pitch to in their niche and in their market. And then bucket three is they have a large client base, have a large amount of contacts, leads, and typically the needs of these companies fall on some of the things that we'll go over in future webinars, which are the actual which takes place more during the sales process, how to pitch, how to talk about, how to incorporate it with other services, how to put together proposals to incorporate a full suite of marketing services, and how Boostability can help with that, because we play a large role in that with a lot of our partners in pitching a full suite of digital marketing, although we, on our end, only fulfill on the SEO side. Now, okay, so, but today we're focusing on the first two buckets, because the overarching problem that these companies face is that they don't know how to get more customers in their current ICP or niche. And having done this for 10 years, I've learned one thing. It's not so much that the market is capped. The market isn't capped. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses out there that need the services that you're offering. It's more just our mindset is capped, and their mindset is capped. They feel like they've reached out to everyone they could. So we have some self-limiting beliefs that we just need to get rid of. So get rid of that right away there. Today, we're going to talk about how to get rid of that and how to find how to actually find people to call, how to get leads. So let me see if I can hook up my iPad here. If you have so you need two things to get to this point. You need to have your ICP, so your ideal client profile, who you're selling to, what vertical you're selling to, and then you also need to know what your offer is going to be. What are the services you're offering? If you have services to offer and you know who you're selling to, you can put together a list. Aaron, will you let me know if you can?
Yeah, it's showing. We're good.
Okay, I need this to show up here. All right, we still good?
Yep.
Still on the whiteboard. Awesome, love it. Good. Okay, so we'll cover all of these at some point, but there's really 4 ways that you can get leads. The four ways are how to get leads. I mean, better way would be ways just to get leads. So you have cold outreach. You have warm outreach. We have paid media. So your PPC across all the boards, all social paid, all that. And then we have content. And on the way, you can add a 5th where that's pretty big in the space right now, which is just affiliates in general and partners, where you do lead sharing. So today, what we're going to talk about is this one right here, cold outreach, and the different ways that you can reach out to someone. So ways to reach out are you can call them. So you have phone, we've got email. Oh, we've got social. You can meet with them in person, or do or video, just in general, as far as different ways that you can do that outreach. So first, you need to identify what you need to have to actually make a call. It's always a little shocking how frequently this we don't even know what we've worked with partners who aren't sure what information they should have to reach out to someone to determine if they are if they're a good fit. So let me erase this, clear my screen right here. All right. So, and what we'll do after this is we'll be sending out just a recap that'll include some best practices that we aren't going over on this call that we use in all of our prospecting efforts. We'll email that out in a follow-up email, as well as some of the points that we talk about today. So what we look for here, the information that we want is we want to make sure that we have their name. So just first and last. We need their number, email. We also look for company name and website. And then some sort of additional factor, additional qualifier. This part's important to identify. For SEO, we use keyword rankings and their organic placement. We'll go over a couple ways that you can use to search for that, find that. But you want to have some sort of additional qualifier rather than just contact to make your list a little bit better, because that's really what you need. Is you're going to be compiling lists of this information so that you can streamline your outreach. So now, cold outreach is typically where people get stuck. Well, our partners will come to us like, hey, we just don't know how to find anybody else. So we ask them, well, do you have a list? Like, well, I don't even know where I could get a list. That's bullcrap. Everybody has a list. Everyone has some sort of list. Now, one list everybody has is you have what's in your phone right now. So you have your list one is your phone. You look at your phone contacts, email contacts, and social contacts. So the first list, a lot of you have probably already done this. If you haven't, and you're looking for a list of people to offer your service to, go into your phone after this, download all your email contacts, anyone you've ever emailed with in the entire time of your email, personal, work, get them all together, throw them in a Google Doc. Second, go to your social media contacts. This is LinkedIn. This is Facebook or Meta. Look at your Instagram, look at X, look at all of your social media platforms, download all of your contacts there, and then all of your phone contacts as well. Download all of those. These are great starting points for your first list that you can actually do a more warm intro with. Now, the second list is you can buy a list. There's tons of places where you're able to purchase a list. There's hundreds of companies out there selling lists. You can ask them for the verticals that you want. You can ask them for the size of companies you want, areas, geographical location, space, all of that. You give them what you want and they sell you a list. These range anywhere from pennies per piece of contact or per lead up to dollars per lead, depending on how they perceive the quality of the list. Now, in buying lists, the way that we like to do it is because your results greatly vary. You have some of the, I've bought some really awesome lists in my day, and I have bought some really horrendous lists that as soon as I start calling, as soon as the sales team starts calling, we know immediately this list, the data is bad. It's not exactly what we were looking for. So what I recommend doing in buying lists is, after you've done your math of how many leads you need for it to spit out a sale at the end, after going through your process, don't buy all of those leads. Buy 500 to 1,000. Buy 500 to 1,000 leads from a few of these companies, and then put them essentially on a trial basis. Our trial basis here is we will call 500 in that week following our regular cadence. So we have a cadence here that works depending on where the leads come from, lead source, what the cold outreach looks like. We do everything from calling every day to typically calling every other day, mixing in different emails, text messages, LinkedIn outreach, other forms of direct mail, things like that. So buy the list, do a smaller trial. Don't commit to anything long-term. They'll try and tell you that you're going to have to commit. Don't do it. Just buy one list, 500 to 1,000 contacts, and trial it for 1 to 2 weeks maximum. You will know very quickly if it's a bad list. So don't commit to something long-term until you know it's what you want. So the second way you can get a list is you can just buy the list. but there are pros and cons. The third way, so list number 3, and this is the route that we go for nearly all of our outreach here, is essentially a curated list, a manually curated list that we build out here on our end. So what this is let me stop this. We're good here. All right, Aaron, is the whiteboard away? My backup. It's not letting me actually.
No, I still got what you just put on. Curated was the last word you've got there.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Am I back now?
Yep.
That work?
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Good. Okay. So the third way that we do it are curated lists. The reason for this is we can get really particular in who we're reaching out to and not have to just go through this constant trial and error process of buying lists. Because you can either, and really you can pay with money, or you can pay with time. We choose to pay an internal team here that we have follow our guidelines of finding data. So step 1 in that personal list is you need some sort of, you can use a scraper. There's sites like Seamless AI or a Zoom Info, Buzzboard, Apollo. Some of these names you're probably familiar with. You may even use them already, where you can actually just plug in your vertical, plug in what you're looking for, and it'll pop out these companies based on the filters and criteria you've set up. So I'm going to do a quick little screen share here for those of you who haven't used this, to show how it works. And all right. Okay, awesome. So this is Seamless AI, which we use. Well, I've added Lehigh, Utah, no company, because I don't want a company there. You can get really specific with types of keywords that you want to incorporate, or that you want the website to say, or that you want to have pulled from. A lot of times this pulls from like their titles or their meta descriptions, or just general content on the site. You can choose your industry. There's a long list of industries and verticals to choose from. And then you can pick employee size. So you can get really granular from 1 employee to, I have 2 to 10 selected here. You go 11 to 50, 50 to 250, 250, 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000 plus. There's no limit there. Revenue and technologies. Revenue, we don't use as much because it is pretty hit and miss as far as the accuracy. But if you want to get a little bit more granular, you can select that. And then technologies, this is one where if you know that you work with a specific technology or a specific website platform that they are built on, you can actually do the search here, where you can use WordPress, or you can use like Magento, or you can use, if there's a specific CRM that a lot of your clients use that you're seeing success with, and you want to find other companies with that technology, you just do a search right there. Now, then you hit search, populates a list. I only did the first one here as a test, but you can essentially it'll do 20 per page, and you hit find all. And what it'll pop out for you is it'll pop out all of these companies with their employee size, estimated revenue, and a brief description. Now, from here, we choose, all right, which ones do we want to reach out to? So let's just say, all right, 2 to 10 employees is what I'm looking for, or Flagship Homes Utah. We'll go 11 to 50 employees, 1 to 5 million annual revenue estimated, and privately held. So what I'll do is I will just here and find contacts. So what I'll do is I'll now populate all of the contacts for this company, and you can search through for the titles that you want to speak with. We always want to be speaking with decision makers. It's not going to make any sense to speak with Jenny Hutchinson, the real estate agent. She's probably not going to have the overarching decision-making process or power for Flagship Homes, but VP of operations probably will. We'll look for CEO or heads of marketing, things like that. You'll select it, you'll hit find. And right here, because this is where most people get stuck, it's like, okay, well, I have the companies to reach out to. I don't know how to get a hold of them. You just hit find. And now you can just view this person's full profile. You can view their email addresses to reach them at. You can view the phone numbers that to get in touch with them. There's a number of ways. It's just any information you need as far as contact information goes. to reach out to them. And if you use HubSpot, Salesforce, or a number of other CRMs, you can do this with Seamless, Zoom, any of these data companies, and you can add the actual integration and just auto import it over to your list over there, or you can build a list directly within Seamless. So this is the highest level view, is just filter the information that you want, and then find the companies, and then find the contact info. Other routes and other ways that we use here to, so one second. Other things that we'll do, and what we'll actually add on top of this, is for SEO, a qualifier we use is their first page rankings. So we'll go to the second page of Google, and we will just do a search for like Lehigh Homes or pool. I mean, I think behind me is, what's it say? It says pool and spa. So kind of custom pool and spa Las Vegas. So we'd go there. You look at what clients you're seeing success with, find similar clients, and then just go to page 2 and start finding clients there. Really, at this point, all you're looking for are URLs, and start compiling a list of website URLs that you can then plug in here into the company search or the contact search. You can actually you can just type in the URL, hit find if it's in their database, and then you can find the contacts within it for that company to identify who you can reach out to. So these are all ways to build your cold. This is a more curated way to build your custom list. And then same thing, look for the decision makers, look for the titles that you're wanting. Okay, Reed Hartzog, he's their owner. Hit find, and you'll have his contact information for either you to call on or for your sales team to call on with their list. Other tech that we use is we'll use Hunter.io. Hunter.io is a good one for verifying emails. As Google gets more and more strict with how emails are going, we know they've made a lot of major changes this year. You want to make sure that you are verifying the emails before you just do any type of cold email campaign. That's a surefire way for your domain and emails to just get blocked by Google, and from there forward be marked as spam. But so we use Hunter.io. We also use LinkedIn. There's a LinkedIn Navigator, which is similar to the Seamless AI, another data aggregator there. And then we just take all this information, place it into Google Sheets, place where we found them on that second page of Google. And that is how we build our list. So whenever we're in a situation where we don't know who needs to, whenever we're in a situation where an agency comes to us and they don't know who to call next, these are 3 ways, really the first 3 things that you can get lists to then call on and give to your sales teams and give to do that outreach for. The next webinars will be going over kind of the next steps, how we do that outreach, what our emails say, what we say on our introductory calls, how we get in those conversations. But that's what we had to cover today, was what our process is and how we find clients to reach out to, some of the technology that we utilize, where we find them and identify a good SEO client. Second page is a good indicator there with decent rankings overall, because that's a good budget qualifier. Are there any questions? Anything else you'd like? Well, we have a few minutes here. Are there anything else you'd like to go more in depth on?
So if someone's gonna, let's say, look at Seamless today, they want to check it out, how long would it take them to be able to do what you just showed? I mean, realistically, right? Someone's that's never done it before.
Yeah, good question. So the mistake that can be made is you'll spend 20, 30 minutes finding each one of these. And that is a surefire way to just fail or feel like this is a giant waste of time. Because as business owners, and agency owners, you're incredibly busy. It's hard to find time to do this. So the only way that I've found for it to work is block dedicated time each day or a certain number of times a week where this is all you do, and then compile the list. Don't find one, call it, find one, call it, find one, call it. When you're selling, you want to make sure that you're able to get into an actual rhythm. So, and if you are trying to bounce between list building and calling, prospecting and calling simultaneously, you're never going to be able to get into that rhythm or get hot, kind of how we talk about on the sales side. So dedicate that time. Don't and never ever spend 20, 30 minutes finding one piece of information. I'm three, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, absolute tops per lead that we're finding from finding the lead, finding the name, finding the contact info, adding it to the list. Like if it's taking longer than a few minutes, well, you're doing it wrong. And it'll become a giant time sink that's not going to be as valuable. You're never going to get around to it. So few minutes per lead that you find.
And last question of the day, Salzl. Um, let's say someone's dedicating 1 hour, right? They're running a business. They're going to set aside some time in the evening to do this. How big should they make the list before they start calling?
Yeah, I take this to basically to the trial list when you're purchasing, which is 500 to 1,000. That is plenty for you to know if you have a good process. So 500, if it's just 1 or 2 reps, you can go up to 1,000 if you have a few more, and then have them call on that for a week to 2 weeks max, and basically repeat this process. Repeat the process, trial it, and you will continue to fine tune your list building methods or who you're purchasing from, and it'll get better and better. But same thing, don't build a list of 100,000 contacts and then go try and call through them. Do 500 at a time, slightly tweaking your filters, slightly tweaking the sizes of businesses, comparing it with your case studies and your clients that you're seeing success with, and then take that actual information. And as it gets better and better, and once you start to strike gold with a list or with a set of filters or a way that you are mining the data, that's when you'll start to see the sales come at the volumes. So try and pair that up as closely as far as your conversion rates go, connection rates, close rates, with your best performing lead sources now. And if you don't have any just benchmark data to start from, as far as what like we would expect for close rates or conversion rates at any step of the sales cycle, I would say talk to your PGM, or maybe worthwhile for us to do a similar training on just some general metrics that we use and KPIs that we monitor here, where we try to stay within. And because then that way you'll know if you're ever outside of those metrics. If you're above, big pat on the back, you're doing awesome, keep it up. If you're going below, then you know you need to tweak something and fine tune it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Salzl. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As a recap, we focused today on on building the lists through a curated list method. Get working on it. Start building your 500. Come back next time. We'll make this recording available. We'd love your feedback too. You know, how helpful was this, and also how did it help you? Thanks, everyone. Have a great Good Friday.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Aaron.